Hello, everyone. It's Kelly Scarborough, and welcome to episode 3 of our Healing Journey series. Today, I'm going to talk about the vagus nerve. What is the vagus nerve? The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body, also known as the 10th cranial nerve, and it is part of the autonomic nervous system, also known as the parasympathetic nervous system, or the rest and repair function, versus sympathetic, which is fight or flight. Okay? They work hand in hand, but they both have to be in good order to keep us healthy. The way that the vagus nerve is structured is it starts in our brain and it goes right down through our neck, kind of past the ears, through our neck in two parallel branches. It travels down through your body, past your lungs and your heart, and into your gut. What are some of the conditions that we can get when our vagus nerve is out of regulation? Anxiety and depression is the first condition, but it's not the only one. We may also experience poor gut health, like problems with swallowing, right? If that nerve passes right through here, maybe it's damaged or needs a little help in this area. Cough, because it goes into our lungs, of course. Heart palpitations or irregular heartbeat. Nausea, gas, or bloating. Also, acid reflux. It goes right through our hiatus here in the middle of our chest, just below our chest, between our chest and our intestinal system, and can cause acid reflux, right, if it's not in good tone. Also, diarrhea and constipation, dizziness or fainting, fatigue, sexual dysfunction, and so many more things. So you can see that this nerve really touches a lot of high points in our body that are very important for us. Good vagal tone equals resilience in stressful situations. You know, when you have one of those moments that really stresses you out, something startles you, and suddenly, the next thing you know, you feel like you need to run to the bathroom, right? That's because your vagus nerve sends signals all the way down into our gut and says, and shocks it into needing to use the restroom, right? Okay, so that's just a simple example of how this works. The good news, though, is that there are many, many things that we can do on our own to regulate our vagus nerves. A clean diet, and especially one that's strong in probiotics like kimchi, yogurt, sauerkraut, or just a really good probiotic supplement. Happy gut equals happy mind. I'm sure you've heard that saying before. Meditation, yoga, and Tai Chi are just ways that we can sort of train ourselves to step into that parasympathetic mode, training our vagus nerve to send those signals of calm. Humming is an interesting one. Humming vibrates the nerves in our neck, in our head, in our chest, and all the way down into our stomachs. And if you try it, you'll see. So you'll feel that if you hold your hand on your chest or your belly, you're going to feel that vibration. And just spend a few minutes every day or several times a day. Your animals might look at you a little funny when you're doing this, but it's okay. Here's another one that you can try that's very easy, and this is called 4-7-8 breathing. All right, breathe in to a count of 4. Breathe, hold for a count of 7. Breathe out to a count of 8. Okay, and you can combine them because on that out breath you can add your hum. Okay, so you're getting a two for one here. All right. Singing is another thing that also does adds that vibratory tone to our bodies and helps to tone the vagal nerve. Or laughing, yes, because it jiggles your vagus nerve and it changes your heart rate variability, which also tones up our vagal nerve. This is an interesting one. Many studies have shown that cooling yourself down, like a little cold shock, can also tone the vagus nerve and activates the vagus nerve. So have you ever seen somebody who is in a lot of stress and then they go and splash cold water on their face, right? This is what they're doing. They're actually stopping that reaction of the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, so that they can calm down and the parasympathetic can come in. All right, so you can do this when you're not in a moment where you can actually really tone up your vagus nerve to calm down. And so maybe a couple times a day you can take an ice cold washcloth to the face or neck, right? Or you can take a cold shower. So get in the shower and turn the water cold for a minute or two. And it grounds you into the moment, right? It's a little bit shocking. It causes what's called that dive reflex when we suck in our breath and when we dive into cold water, right? But this activates the vagus nerve. So do that for a minute or two, and then you can turn the water back to warm and you're back to your normal shower. Okay. If you're really dysregulated or need some additional help, there are also vagus nerve stimulation devices that you can purchase that vibrate the neck area or different areas of the body, right? Thereby toning your vagus nerve so that signals can pass more regularly between your brain and your major organs with much less resistance, okay? That's what we're training it to do. We're training it to flip into that rest and restore mode. Okay, so you can just find those online if you just search vagus nerve stimulation device or something like that. You can find many of them online. Also, there are many other exercises. If you go into YouTube and search vagus nerve reset or vagus nerve simulation or stimulation, you are going to find many tips on how to do this. Some of them have to do with kind of patting on your belly, right? Just kind of getting it to wake up, or your chest. Some of them are massages, some of these breathing techniques, but there are many different ways to do this. And it's just about retraining ourselves not to stay in that sympathetic area where we're just sort of on edge, okay? It's a habit that we need to break. Okay, so, and I really recommend that you do some of these things when you're not feeling stressed, but also keep these in your pocket so when you feel that nervous tension coming on, a panic attack coming on, try that breathing, try the cold plunge, the cold water splash, whatever that is, right? Any number of physical or emotional disorders, you can, short circuit by doing this before it really comes into a full-blown panic attack or palpitation event or dizziness or whatever. So thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. And if you liked this video, please hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. It helps people to find this, and of course hit the notification bell so that you can see the next video that I post about our healing journey. So thank you very much for joining me, and have a fantastic day.